Scott with the Scottman. We're here to do a drive video today. We're heading east on I-96. We're out here just to the east of Grand Rapids, Michigan, at the interchange with M-6 as we go over the Thornapple River. We're going to be heading from M-6 all the way over to I-69 east, just to the northwest of Lansing. So we have a longer than normal driving video today here on the freeway, but it doesn't really make sense to film the part between here or even I-196 over to I-69 in two separate videos, because it'll just be like two short videos. So you're in for a long one today. Yay! Yeah, this is not my first time out in the Grand Rapids area for the year, because I did do another driving video on I-196 back in March. Although by the time the video goes up, it's probably going to be near the end of May or first part of June. Because when it comes to my driving videos, I still got quite a bit of a backlog left to do. But of course that video would have been up by now. But yeah, it is overcast right now, as you can tell. Like, the sun was out earlier today, as I filmed another Michigan Off the Beaten Path video. I went out to the villages of Sparta and Caledonia, with Sparta being to the northwest of Grand Rapids and Caledonia being southeast of Grand Rapids, both along M37. To Sparta first, and it was mostly sunny out, but it's amazing how much the clouds have rolled in this past afternoon. It almost looks like it's going to rain off to the southwest, like out toward Holland, Saugatuck, and that area. So it's like a good time to start making my way back toward the eastern part of the state. Where we started this video going all the way to where we're ending the video, we're pretty much just going to be in the countryside. We won't really be going through any cities or towns or anything like that. Looks like they're planning to do some road work coming up on Monday. It's a good thing they're not working on it during the weekend. Yeah, coming out here today, I did not really run into any road construction, which is impressive. Because once you get into April, or especially May, you really start to run into road construction. Especially the ones where you see lane closures or even full freeway closures. Thankfully not the case, although around Metro Detroit, that's a totally different story. And I do know that back in Grand Rapids, they are working on I-196 right now. But yeah, I really enjoyed checking out both Sparta and Caledonia, and off camera, I even drove by the Gerald Ford International Airport, which is the main airport for Grand Rapids, and I happened to find a sign which says airport viewing area. I was like, sweet. I had to drive over to it off camera. Although I think I did post a clip on Instagram stories showing an airplane taking off from the airport there. I had a pretty good view of it. Let's just say I was close enough to see the word Southwest on the Southwest Airlines flight. I don't know if Detroit Metro Airport has a viewing area excluding the cell phone lots. If there is one, I'd have to go investigate. just going to an airport, even just to watch airplanes take off, though, it's like, I definitely miss air travel, but no worries, my friends, because 2 weeks from now, although I probably would have uploaded the videos by now, or a lot of the videos by now, but in 2 weeks from now, I'm going to be flying to Boston, Massachusetts. It's going to be my first trip by airplane I have done in over 15 months because of the pandemic. With the last flight being out to Dallas, Texas. Because ever since the pandemic started, I did not really fly, I didn't fly anywhere. The 2 times I went on big trips last year, like in the summer and the fall, they were both road trips. Just because that was really the safest way to travel. But yeah, things are a lot different now because, yeah, it's like here in the state of Michigan alone, as I'm filming this video, again, keep in mind, these videos aren't uploaded in real time. But I know it's like no, that's not what I'm trying to say. At least 55% of people in the state of Michigan have gotten at least 1 dose of the vaccines. And I think it was close to 45% fully vaccinated. And as I mentioned in my M13 video I did when I was going from like Lennon, Michigan up to Saginaw, which I filmed back in early April, like that day I was getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And so yeah, that was like 5 weeks ago. So I've been fully vaccinated for at least 3 weeks. But as a matter of fact, yeah, 9 a.m. this morning, the state of Michigan got rid of the mask mandate for everybody outside and for vaccinated people inside. Now, in terms of enforcement, I don't really think there's going to be, it's going to be more like the honor system than anything else. So it's like, yeah, there are probably going to be people who are going to be lying, like, oh yeah, I'm vaccinated, and they're not. So it's like, just tell the truth because you'll be judged later. And then, yeah, back there, we're just crossing at Ionia County after leaving Kent County. But yeah, it's like, although the mask mandate, if you're vaccinated, yeah, it's withdrawn, and they're planning to withdraw for everybody, again, the state of Michigan, July 1st. But, of course, just because the mask mandate is pretty much gone, that doesn't mean businesses still can't require them. Because they have full rights to do so, although I'd be curious how long they do. So it's like you're looking to throw away your mask, I would highly advise not doing so for 2 reasons. One, you never know when you might need it because, well, for one, you still need it for air travel right now here in the U.S., or especially international travel where other countries haven't been vaccinated as much as we have. So it's like they haven't let go of like mask mandates or anything like that. And 2, you don't really want to throw away the mask because you don't know where they're going to end up. Because, yeah, just like how they say that it's not good to throw away a lot of things which are recyclable because they could end up either in a landfill or worse, in the ocean or something. You don't know where the masks are going to, if you're throwing one away, where they're going to end up. So it's like, yeah, it's like what they have to do is like when it gets to the point where people are really not wearing masks anymore, or at least like the high majority of people, if people are really looking to throw away their masks, in my opinion, I'd say just save them. You never know. But if not, it's like they got to come up with a way to dispose of them safely that's safe for the environment. Because the last thing we want to do is throw a bunch of them away and they end up polluting our oceans or our forests or wherever they end up. See though. Yeah, it's like, although, yeah, it's like I'll have to mask up on the airplane, but it will be nice to get back on an airplane again in a couple of weeks to fly somewhere. Yeah, let me think. The last time I've gone over a year without flying anywhere was probably over a decade ago. Or maybe a decade ago. Because back in like 2010, for example, I went on one trip by airplane. That was to Colorado for the very first time. And then I didn't fly anywhere again till the following year when I went back to Colorado, of all places. Yeah, traffic hasn't been too bad here on I-96 so far. Although I feel like I'm seeing more people going west right now. But still, it's not terribly bad, although you got a slow-moving truck that we were seeing over in the other lanes. So I guess, yeah, going back to the mask, because now, especially here in the United States, you're going to start seeing people inside places not wearing the mask, and of course people who will be still wearing the mask. So it's like a little public service announcement that I like to give. Yeah, please respect one another. It's like people have the right, especially in places where they're not mandating them. If people are wearing the masks, let the people wear the masks. If people aren't wearing them, then let them as well. It's like, it's one thing if they're mandated to where, yeah, then everybody has to wear one, but if they're not mandated, people can do what they want. It's like, people want to wear them, they can definitely wear them. If they don't want to wear them, that's fine too. Because the important thing is we gotta be nice to one another. And thanks for coming to my brief TED Talk just now. It's all about treating people with respect, my friends. But yeah, with travel opening up even more, I'm trying to think about a lot of different things I want to do in the year, because right now I still have the trip to South Africa planned in October. I should be hearing something from my good friend Greg Snell, who's running the trip. So I should be hearing something in the coming weeks, I would think. I know right now South Africa is open to tourism right now. And I know right now, like, their case levels have been pretty good lately, although it wouldn't surprise me one bit if cases start going up there in the month of June and going into July during their winter. So I could see them having another wave, and then probably dissipate sometime in August, if not September at the latest. Wait and see, though. And then if for some reason that trip gets postponed again, because the other places are opening up now, to where I can always plan somewhere else. I would like to try to plan some type of trip over to Europe somewhere, maybe in late July, early August. But yeah, I don't want to light is given, though, it's like I probably need to act fast because you know everybody else is going to be jumping on board too. So I know like the prices of airfare right now, especially for domestic flights, are pretty expensive. So I think my flight to Boston was over $600, and that's with the main cabin in for Delta Airlines. I'm paying like significantly less. I'm paying under $100 round trip though, but that's because I'm using my, I don't know, I forgot the term that Delta uses, but like the e-credits that you get, or that I got from when I had to cancel my San Diego trip last year. So I was able to dedicate them toward my trip to Boston, and thanks to those e-credits, it's like I went from paying a very expensive flight to paying one of my cheapest airfare I've ever paid. So more about that in a couple minutes. But yeah, coming up here the next mile, we're going to be approaching the exit for Ionia, or more specifically M-66, which M-66 is a big state highway which goes north and south through the state of Michigan. So M-66 goes all the way down to Battle Creek and then going even further down towards Sturgis and cross over into the Indiana. If you go north in M-66, you'll of course get to Ionia first, and then you'll go all the way up to the north. Because yeah, eventually it goes all the way up to Charlevoix. So yeah, although it's not the quickest route to go north, you might be better off going up 131 or 127 from over in this part of the state. But if you want to take back roads though, M66 is the way to do it. Get some water. I haven't had some water since before I started this video. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I remember filming a video in Ionia, I think a few years back. Nice little town. So anyway, getting back to talking about travels. So looking for other things to do. Of course, not only the potentially 2 international trips I want to do later this year, especially with the fact that I didn't go anywhere outside of the United States last year. But also some other different things I want to do around the United States too, like of course the Boston trip coming up, and then I want to try to do a trip to San Diego around Labor Day weekend. Should probably book flights soon because the prices are only going to go up, 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 and up. And I should maybe do some like weekend trips around the Great Lakes area, or maybe into Pittsburgh or something, Chicago, area, Pennsylvania, or even within here in the state of Michigan. There's some other different things I want to do here in the state of Michigan as well. I need to get back up to the Sault Ste. Marie area. So I do got to finish that I-75 driving video as well. Or like the last stretch I got to film, like up in like the northernmost stretch, like going up towards Sault Ste. Marie. I also need to do some videos in the Grand Rapids area itself too, because it's been well overdue. Need to get back up to Traverse City as well. Like there's a lot of different things I want to do, even just here in this state. One thing for sure though, it's like although I haven't really gone anywhere until maybe in terms of out-of-state travel since my big road trip to the western U.S. back in October, I've been able to explore a lot of things within the state of Michigan itself. It's been nice. I've been able to film some things here in my home state for once. So despite the fact I'm definitely getting back out to other parts of the country and also the parts of the world, it's good every once in a while to film some videos here in the state of Michigan as well. But let's just say the second half of 2021 is going to look a lot different. Well, this is already, right now it's looking a lot different than compared to winter in 2021. One thing I've noticed with this part of I-96 is that basically between here and for the most part the county line from between Ionia and Kent County, it's mostly been a straightaway, hardly any curves. But it changes here as we're starting to approach Portland, Michigan. And one thing that's really cool too is that starting here, you're going to start seeing a lot of exits between here and Detroit for Grand River Avenue. Grand River Avenue generally runs parallel with I-96 from like the Grand Rapids area all the way to downtown Detroit. Although in Kent County it's Cascade Road. Once you cross it over into Ionia County, it becomes Grand River Avenue. And here is the first exit for Grand River Avenue, although it's off to the left. So this is more of an exit for downtown Portland. Just get off here, make a left, and go about another 2 or 3 miles, and you're in Portland, Michigan. And Grand River Avenue heads east into Portland. What's been going on too. It's like nothing really major has gone on lately. I did, or not, that's not what I was trying to say. Hey, sign for Frankenmuth, how about that? But yeah, like work lately has been going really slow. Like we're still at home right now, but we're given the green light starting the week after next to where we can go back to doing in-person work again. Although where I'm working, we're waiting to go back in like early June. But yeah, it's like other than that, yeah, it's just been really slow right now. But hopefully things will pick up soon. The videos I've been doing lately around Michigan, yeah, it's been mostly some driving videos, but also different vlogs, such as especially my Michigan off the beaten path videos. Like I've done some over like in Grass Lake, Michigan. I've done some in Caro and Cass City. And been filming some restaurant tours as well. And here's the Grand River. The Grand River from here goes all the way to the west toward Grand Rapids, into Grand Rapids, and eventually empties out into Lake Michigan over in Grand Haven. And yeah, back at that exit there, that's probably more direct exit into downtown Portland. And exit sign for Grand River, how about that? looking at things overall in the U.S., it is nice to see that I'm starting to see things going back to normal again. We're not all the way there yet, but it's a lot closer than we have been since February 2020. And here's the exit for Grand River Avenue. And this time, Grand River Avenue, that should be good. I was trying to see if I had to get over. So yeah, Grand River now goes to the south of I-96. How much further we have to go until we get to I-69, but I think there's still at least 10 minutes maybe, but don't hold me to that. Different sports going on. It's like you got baseball going on right now. The Detroit Tigers are absolutely terrible right now. They could change by the time this video goes up, but as I'm filming this video, they got the worst record in the major leagues right now. Well, in fact, Detroit teams are absolutely horrible right now. Like, all teams. Like, the Lions didn't do that well this last season. The Red Wings, another losing season, but they did a little better than last year. They are still rebuilding, and I know Steve Yzerman is still doing a lot of work to try to rebuild the Red Wings back into a Stanley Cup contender. So I know one hockey team, the Colorado Avalanche, they had a big slump a few years ago, and now they have the best record in the NHL. So if the Colorado Avalanche can do it, the Red Wings can do it as well. And then in basketball, the Pistons are absolutely terrible as well. They're not the worst team, though, at least when I last checked their record. But yeah, just a lot of rebuilding right now. Although when it comes to the hockey playoffs, though, yeah, the playoffs, they got a delayed start because the season got a delayed start. It's like with the hockey season, like they realigned all the divisions for this season only because they wanted to have all the teams, like only, like for the Red Wings, for example, only play 7 teams in the regular season. They try to minimize contact with other teams and everything like that. Oh, and right here we're crossing over into Clinton County, which is like the northwest county for the Lansing area. So like, yeah, Detroit was in the Central Division for the 2020 to 2021 season, where normally they go into the they're playing in the Eastern Conference and then in the Atlantic Division, because normally the Red Wings are in the same division as the Boston Bruins, the Montreal Canadiens, Toronto Maple Leafs, Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Buffalo Sabres. I might be missing a team, but I'm not sure. But they had to realign all the teams because all the pandemic restrictions in Canada are a lot more strict than they are here in the United States. So, and especially with the international border being closed to non-essential traffic, yeah, that hasn't changed still, as of the day I'm filming this video. But it's like, because there was going to be a big conflict with having the Canadian teams flying over to the U.S. and then vice versa. All the Canadian teams are in their own division. So because of that, and of course Detroit's main division, they had, oh, that's right, the Ottawa Senators. Because yeah, there are normally three Canadian teams in the Atlantic Division of the Eastern Conference where the Red Wings normally play in. Because Detroit normally plays Montreal, Toronto, and Ottawa four games in a season. But because of border restrictions right now, that's not really possible. So they had to realign all of the divisions just for this season only. So this season, Detroit got to still play with Toronto and Florida, but they also got to play with Nashville, Dallas, Columbus, Carolina, and Chicago. And of course, the Red Wings did not make the playoffs, so Red Wings are done for the season. So I think in the Central Division, where the Red Wings are playing in for this season, I'm trying to think of the teams who are in it. I know Tampa Bay and Florida are in it, and they're facing each other. I think the other two teams would be, I believe are Carolina and Nashville. Should be a really good playoff season, so I'll definitely be looking forward to it. So I think the first game's on tonight, which would be between, in the, I think it's the East Division, I believe. It's the Boston Bruins against the Washington Capitals, I believe. Yeah, that sounds right. Because yeah, then you also got the New York Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins in the East Division for the playoffs. And then yeah, right here, this exit is for M100. That'll take it down to Grand Ledge. Which is a city west of Lansing along M43. Yeah, we're getting close, near to the end of the video, because we got I-69 east, or the exit forward, in 2.5 miles. I think the other teams are in the NHL playoffs. It's in the North Division, which is the Canada division for this year. So you got the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Montreal Canadiens, so a big rivalry to kick things off for the NHL playoffs. And then you have the Winnipeg Jets against the Edmonton Oilers. And then the West Division, you got the Colorado Avalanche versus the St. Louis Blues, which the Blues won the playoffs, or they won the Stanley Cup 2 years ago. And then the other matchup would be the Vegas Golden Knights. And who are they? I forgot, who are they playing? Oh, that's right, they're playing the Minnesota Wild. Yeah, the Dallas Stars won last year, and they did not make the playoffs this year, so we're going to have a new Stanley Cup champion this year, so that'll be really exciting. Yeah, I have no idea who's going to win it. Although one thing I have noticed is that the team who has won the President's Cup trophy, which is the team with the best record in the NHL, the team who has the best record in the regular season has not won the Stanley Cup in the past several years, so that's a disadvantage for the Colorado Avalanche. But we'll see if they win it. You never know. They might make some postseason magic. And right here is the exit for I-69 East going to Flint. I'm not going to end the video just yet because the exit for 69 East is pretty long. Yeah, we're now starting to come into the Lansing metro area. exit for, guess what? Grand River Avenue. So the exit for Grand River Avenue here. This is also for Business 96, which Grand River, that'll take you into Lansing. And also that's next you can take to get over to the main airport for Lansing. So now Grand River once again heads to the north of I-96. So what I'll do is I'll end the video once the entrance ramp for I-69 joins up with I-96. Because yeah, there's I-69 right there for, well, I-69 south. Alright, so I'm going to slowly start to conclude this video. So I hope you enjoyed this video of I-96 East going from M-6 just east of the Grand Rapids area near the Grand Rapids or the Gerald Ford International Airport, going all the way to I-69 East over here in the northwestern part of Lansing. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to comment and join me for the adventure. And oh, we're crossing over into Eaton County now. And don't forget to click that notification bell so that way you know when a new video goes live. Hey, we're going over the Grand River again. Well, thanks for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scottman, signing out.